Hi Taurus, I hope that you're all doing well. We are here with a timeless reading. The first card that we have is Six of Cups and the World. I kept seeing Three of Pentacles when I was shuffling the deck. Three of Pentacles speaks about openness, willingness. There can be somebody that you're working on something with. With Six of Cups in the World, there can be something that's been going on for a long time that you are completing. This can be something like this can be a very, very long cycle actually that is completing. I'm seeing you be at a point where you're figuring out what you want on a deeper level. You can also be prioritizing the things that are most important to you, like dreams, wishes, desires, things that are connected with what you want on a deep level. The difference between wanting something on a surface level and on a deeper level is, I think, like the feeling of fulfillment or contentment with something. With the Nine of Cups, these are the things that we like deeply hope to, dream to, desire connecting with, and it's something that's kind of like a staple connected with our sense of fulfillment, where if we really do end up connecting with these things that we want that are connected with the Nine of Cups, we really can experience that sense of contentment, peace, fulfillment. And so it comes from that type of motivation within us of like what belongs together within our lives. And so you can be going through a period where these are the things that you're figuring out, these are the things that you're focusing on. I'm seeing Magician and I'm seeing Ace of Swords, so I'd say that at this point you're pretty clear on what you want to be doing, like your ideas that you have. I'd say that your mind is very clear. I'd say that, yeah, with the Magician, this is connected with your intention. Having Ace of Swords, I'd say that you feel very clear on what your intention is, like what you're intending to manifest, what you want. So there's no more needing to figure something out or decide. It feels like that has already been done. You've completed something. It was a very long cycle. Then after that point, figuring out like, what do I want to do now? What do I do from here? Like, what do I really want on a deeper level? So there can be some soul searching that was being done, some like heart searching that was being done. And then having Magician and Ace of Swords, you can feel like you've come out of that feeling very clear on your intention, on what you want to be doing. So there's been the completion of a lot of energy that you put in, so something can finally come full circle. Then that soul searching being done, and then feeling like you come out of that period feeling very clear on where to go from here. So you figured out what you needed to figure out. This will allow you to move forward with a sense of confidence. Now here is the Three of Pentacles. I was seeing this before when I was shuffling. This could be somebody you've been working with for a long time, something that you've been working on for a long time. I feel too like there's a focus on emotional reciprocity. So this can be making sure that you're involved in the things that have the right energy, that contain the right energy exchange. And this can be something that you've been figuring out for quite some time, like paying close attention when you're involved in exchanges, what's going on there, what the feeling is, and assessing things in that way. It's like to get the recipe right. Interesting. Okay. Having Three of Pentacles requires cooperation, an open-hearted energy where there's a receptivity there. I'm seeing Five of Swords be connected with it. So if this is somebody that you've been working with, this can be like, I have been entering into this and I've been communicating and I've been open-hearted and I've been loving and I've been cooperative. Having that Five of Swords can be somebody that you've been trying to like work with in some way, collaborate with in some way that is not very agreeable, and it can be very difficult. I'd say like the opposite of the Five of Swords is the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles is a collaborative energy. Five of Swords is like, I am an island. I'm just looking out for myself. I'm not trying to cooperate. And it can be very difficult for these energies to be next to one another because they kind of are doing like working in opposite ways from one another, where Five of Swords is, I don't want to cooperate. I don't want to hear what's being said right now. Like, I'm refusing to be open even. There's a sense of like judgment as well. There can be, and closed heart. With Three of Pentacles, you need to have heart open. You need to have ears listening and actively, willingly communicating. So having these energies, they very much clash with one another. What this can mean too, if we're focusing on you with yourself, is that you can be doing a lot of work that's connected with your ego, connected with your triggers and whatnot. These can be like long-standing ones. This can be stuff from your past, stuff from your childhood, stuff that you could have really felt a type of way about, and even felt a type of way about working with. This could have been things that you experienced that you were feeling like so angry or so resistant towards, like those things, so resentful of those things even happening in the first place, that you may have like sneered at the thought or the idea of working with those things, working with those experiences to integrate them, to learn anything from it, because you could have been like feeling a type of way that those things happened in the first place. Now what I'm seeing is that there is what looks like a completion of this. So I definitely see you getting somewhere here. If the Five of Swords is not your energy, this can be in a way, I almost feel like this is also like working through some type of self-judgment. That came from something related to the past. And it could have been having you like not really admit or not really allow yourself to connect on a deeper level with what you wanted. So this can be like stuff that wasn't being let go of, which we have to recognize. We have to accept the way that we feel. There has to be like all of these steps before we can release something. So it could have been stuff that was just being kept sort of in your energetic field, but now it feels like you fully worked through this. And there can be things like forgiveness involved in this. Anything that's happening that can have you feel like there's a need for you to close your heart off in order to like protect yourself, and then having to go through this process where you can open your heart to the situation where it may feel extremely, extremely difficult to do so. And something that you may not have even been like open at all towards in the past. And the reason why we have that Five of Swords is because we can feel like that's the best way for us to keep ourselves safe as well. So there are reasons why that's there. It's not just there for no reason. It's not there to like torment you or to keep you from the life that you want to be experiencing. It just kind of does that because of being closed off in a deeper way to the capacity of our hearts. I mean, this can be too really direly wanting something in the past, feeling a type of way about something that had happened, and then being so fixated or stuck on that it keeps you away from presently connecting with what you want. That can be part of this too. Taurus, the first zodiac that we have out here. We also have Saturn and we have Mercury, but Taurus is the first zodiac. Yeah, I actually feel this sense of, for those of you that there's somebody else involved with this feels like somebody that you've known for a while. And also too, I feel like where there's supposed to be cooperation and collaboration, there's actually like an unwillingness, like very, very disagreeable is the feeling of the Five of Swords here. And then there's conflict. And this can also be conflict that you're feeling within yourself, where there's this part of you, maybe there's one part of you that wants something and there's another part of you that's not like open to that because of not wanting to get hurt as well. By the end of this, I'm seeing things become very clear. I'm seeing quite a big breakthrough happening. I feel as well like your mind has been becoming more and more clear, and that's something that's been happening through this process, because I'm seeing like deep past and then I'm seeing future, and then over here there's like something in between. And it's connected with what you want on a very deep level, and trying to figure out, maneuver through a time that can feel like there's much conflict coming up, to be anchored, to be worked with, and to figure out. And you can feel conflicted about what you feel like is the best direction for you to invest, for you to put your energy. I feel like something is still being figured out. Having Five of Swords be connected with the Magician, I feel like your mind is not clear yet, but that it's, because that Ace of Swords is there, I feel like this is what's going to happen. That you go through a period, there's a lot of stuff going on, it can feel kind of congested mentally and energetically. And then you get to the point where you feel like you've really pierced the veil here and you feel very clear on things moving forward. But it takes a long time to work through this just because of the density of it. Having to work to clarify things, having to connect to further clarify things. It just feels like all of these refining processes that are making the future more and more clear. Like, where are you going? Where's the designation? What do you want? What is the path? It's just like all of these things. And I think a key component of this is working with the past stuff, because for some reason it clarifies your future as well. It's like, as the past stuff is being clarified, the future stuff is also being clarified, and you're here in the middle tending to both of those things. It feels like a reflection of like where you are in the timeline. Like, you're in the middle of the timeline, and as you're doing this work that's connected with the past, it really is like clearing stuff up on that other side too, which is connected with the future and what you're going to be stepping into. But this stuff that's being worked with from the past can be some very triggering things, and so it can feel actually difficult to be open to working with it because it like most likely doesn't feel good. It can maybe feel kind of confusing as well at times, and it can be, I don't know, something that brings up feelings that you have, but it's also something that can create like a murkiness as well. And so that's why it's being worked with and gone through. This can also be something that cuts you off from your sentimentality because of feeling like when you were connected with it, things happened that you learned it like it wasn't safe to be in that place anymore. So now there's that unlearning of these things. So this can mean too, like when I let myself connect and when I knew what I wanted and like these things and whatnot, like things may have happened that had you feel like you turned cold. This can be ways that people treated you as well for some of you. It's like all of the things that Saturn has thrown at you, having to work with it. But again, this feeling of like, why did Saturn even do that in the first place? It feels like karmically, like having a hard time maybe stomaching and processing what the experiences were even in the first place, like let alone the way that they impacted you. Recognizing the impact and then diffusing these things too. And all of this to just get closer, all of this to just feel like you're on the same page with yourself. And different things vying for your attention as well. Is this important? Is that important? It feels like so many different things going on where it's like fighting for your attention and you having to figure that out throughout all of the chaos. I feel too like there's actually something like quite traditional that you may want, or something quite like this doesn't feel in any way absurd. Like I feel almost something kind of conventional in a way that you may want. But you could have felt pushed away from it. It feels like being in a certain situation, having not a great experience, and then walking away really feeling a type of way towards that experience and maybe like lumping something all in together. Meanwhile, it's a key to informing you of your present and what you want on a deeper level, but you can feel pushed away by it because of that past experience that you had. Working through this to get in touch with what you want, and then that clarifies things moving forward. And the Hierophant is very important here for some reason as well. You being in the middle of this and figuring out what it is that I feel like has been there all along, just all of these layers have to be peeled back. All the while clarifying your understanding, your intelligence, your discernment, your mind. I almost feel like there's more to it. Like this feels slightly incomplete to me for some reason. I see some type of like traditional, something that's traditional that one wants to pursue, but can feel like you can feel like you're in a space of that being written off because of something that happened in the past. You know, it's something like, let's use an example. Let's say that growing up you had like a horrendous experience with a teacher, okay? And so you just were like, I hate teachers in general, or like, I hate middle school because maybe that's when that happened. And so you're walking along trying to like figure out your path and whatnot, and you can feel kind of unclear on things and like trying to have a breakthrough. And what ends up being the answer is that like ultimately when you do this like soul searching is that you actually want to be a teacher. But I think there's this like not allowing one, just an example, not allowing oneself to really go there because of that bad experience. So it's like anytime you even think for a moment about like teaching and whatnot, feeling so put off by that it's not even a consideration. When looking and clarifying everything, you realize that's actually what you want to pursue. And so it feels like the thing that's connected with the experience actually informs you of something, but because there's not an openness to it, it informs you of something really important for your path. But because there are these like feelings about it that feel pushing it away, because this is just unresolved stuff, it feels like it keeps you from recognizing that this is something that you want to be doing and something that would feel that you want like maybe more deeply than anything at all. And this whole time you could have been telling yourself that's not the case because you feel like so disgusted by teachers. You know, it can be something like this. And then as this is being worked through, you end up realizing that the path has been right there in front of you, but because of your experience and your association with that experience, you weren't even considering that as an option. So it feels like it's something that's like this type of theme. And the past informs your future direction. And working with this clarifies things. And opens you up to what you really want to manifest, what you want to experience. It opens you up to a true intention living within you. And it feels like even an untapped intention that's clouded by the unresolved stuff. It's like intelligence that you're holding within you that's right now knotted up and has to be unknotted and organized, and then you're going to see that it holds a very important key for you present day. So this healing is also clarifying things for you presently. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I'm seeing Taurus and I'm seeing Aquarius. I'm also seeing Capricorn on the bottom of the deck. I want to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.